Welcome to your July reading. We're going to take a look at the month ahead using a Celtic cross spread. This, I think, is a good overview of everything coming your way. Do keep in mind while I'm pulling these cards, we can talk a little bit about the moon's play on your situation this month. We've got the strawberry full moon, which just happened on the 29th of June, which really helps to solidify new ideas, new plans. It's about setting foundations for new things, new ventures, things like that. So if you have any new business ventures, new relationships, new plans that you're trying to lay out, now is probably a really good time to start thinking about the best way to set those things in motion. Okay. And then also, please bear in mind for the month ahead in July, it's going to be, okay, let's take them both. For the month ahead in July, there is Mercury retrograde pretty much the entirety of the month. And Mercury retrograde, as we all know, can be a bit of a difficult test for us in our daily lives. Sometimes things like technology can be a little bit difficult. Plans can sometimes be delayed. Travel things can sometimes have issues, things like that. So these are just things to kind of bear in mind in the month ahead. So especially with the strawberry moon, about like laying plans for new endeavors, just keep in mind that with Mercury in retrograde, you might want to really take your time laying those plans this month, and maybe, think about postponing or letting the planning take long enough that you don't really start moving ahead with those plans until after the month of July, moving into August. So, all right, we're getting there. Things are looking a little bit like maybe you are not feeling like you're super supported here. Oh, okay. But I do think that things are, there's a mixture of good and bad here for sure. Let's take a look. Okay. So we've got the Nine of Pentacles for your energy, which is a very strong energy, honestly, personal energy. It's grounded energy. Pentacles having to do with money. This can be, reading about, really we've got the Two of Cups here too, so this could be reading about anything. This could be a relationship reading. This could be reading about a job or, something in your life. But your energy in this reading is independent. You're thinking of yourself right now, not necessarily in a selfish way, just more in a, this is what I need to focus on right now, is something in developing something for myself. So the Nine of Pentacles, that's you. You're stable. It seems like you're strong. You're financially pretty secure. You are secure, whether financially or just like emotionally, you are secure in yourself here. But it does seem like you have an Eight of Cups energy crossing you. So you're having to leave something behind. You're having to say goodbye to something, whether that is a habit, or that is a person, or that is a job, or an experience, or a home, something. So you're having to walk away from something. You're going, look, in this moment of personal strength and perhaps like taking time for yourself, there's something that you're having to say goodbye to, I think, to hold on to this feeling that you're having of personal independent strength. So the Eight of Cups is, if you look at it, it's an emotional card. The cups are emotions. So it's about setting yourself free of emotional baggage so that you can pursue the new thing ahead that's going to fulfill you, right? Because the idea is you're walking away from these Eight of Cups to go towards the Two Cups ahead that are going to fulfill your 10 of Cups, right? Your ideal. Okay, so maybe you're grappling with that a little bit. It looks like the energy that is surrounding the earthbound energy that's surrounding this, what's kind of influencing this in your circle, is the Nine of Swords and the Three of Wands. So mentally, it seems like there's some maybe concern for sure about how long it's taking or how long it's going to take for whatever this thing is, these Two of Cups, to manifest for you. I mean, the Two of Cups also being here, so interestingly enough, the Two of Cups is what your spiritual energy is, what's influencing this spiritually. So it's like, yeah, you are trying to head towards the Two of Cups to give you a 10 of Cups kind of manifestation. So here, spiritually, yes, right? Energetically, the universe is like, yeah, we agree that you're trying to get towards this fulfillment, whether it's in a relationship, it certainly could be with it being the Two of Cups, or it's like whatever, a better job, something more fulfilling. You're grounding like human, energy, your earthbound energy is worry. I think you're worried that what you are leaving behind. Again, the Three of Wands is kind of a card of waiting, right? It's like ships are out and you're waiting for the ships to come in. So I think it's you're concerned about how long it's going to take, perhaps. But there's definitely a level of, the Nine of Swords. It's kind of like nightmares. So it can be that you're up in your own head about about possibilities, where you don't know what's gonna lead. You don't know what's gonna happen, and it's concerning you. But I think that the energy about it is that there is this Ten of Cups ahead of you. So it is for your betterment to do this leaving, at least as far as this is saying, and take this as you will, and everyone's reading to take. If it's resonating with you, please do take it. Let me know down in the comments. If it's not, let it go. But it seems like you're heading towards something that you think is going to be good for you, and you're inspired for that will be best for you. You've gotten something from the universe that's saying to you, yes, this is a good thing. And so, but it's not something that seems easy to get, or perhaps something that is like a peaceful transition, especially not with this coming up here. The King of Cups is the energy that's leaving. I think you've had a lot of like emotional support in this, either from a male in your life. It could be a husband, it could be a male, employer, or it could just be a male energy. It doesn't have to be a male. It could just be masculine, supportive, emotionally supportive energy. It feels like you've had a lot of that recently that's held you up in this situation, in this decision, and it has helped you to come to the realization that this is a thing that you need to do. The Tower being the energy coming in, obviously is an energy of, oh, this has changed. Now, the Tower looks scary, but as we all know, the Tower is not a card, a bad card, right? It's good and bad. It can be kind of however you decide to make it. Massive upheaval, life-changing quickly, those kinds of things can make wonderful things happen in your life. So it doesn't mean that things are going to be bad, but it does mean that things are going to be a little jarring. There's going to be some unexpected, ooh, I lost one there. There's going to be some unexpected turns happening. All right, so get a little bit of elaboration here on this. So the Eight of Cups. So yeah, the Three of Pentacles is about building, right? It's about, and it can be working with other people. Oftentimes it's about teamwork, about building. So I think that maybe you found a group of people that you really like, or there's a project that you know that this is going to be better for you to join in on, and you need to take that chance and do it, and not be so concerned about what you are potentially leaving behind. Let's see. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, so I think it's saying this is the Wheel of Fortune happening. You don't really know what's coming. The Wheel of Fortune turns, and it doesn't necessarily turn for the best, but it turns nonetheless. And so I think you need to, yeah, and the Fool just popped out. So these are all very affirming that you are concerned about what's possible, but that it seems like it's going to be very new. And I want to look at this King of Cups energy. I think the Two of Cups is pretty straightforward. This is about something that's going to fulfill you finally. Now again, it can be a relationship. The Two of Cups is very much a relationship card. Obviously, you've got the couple here. But it can also just be about something that gives you final fulfillment, something that really finalizes that Ten of Cups vibe from that Eight of Cups. So the King of Cups, I'm saying that this is, again, like some kind of masculine energy that's been in your life that's really supported you in making this decision. And I just want to get a little bit of a confirmation on maybe who that is or what that is. Spirit, if you can help me out with that a little bit. Give me something there. Oh, 3, my goodness. Okay. So we've got Temperance, we've got the Ace of Swords. Oh, 4, my gosh. Okay, again with the 9 of Swords. Justice. Okay. Yeah, I think that whoever this masculine, whatever this person is, or the situation, this thing that's been influencing you, has been supportive of you in this situation, is has been helping you get through this Nine of Swords. They've been helping you understand intellectually the reasons why this new thing is going to help balance out your life, right? Temperance is the card of keeping things in balance, alchemy, changing, you know, what is it, lead into gold. It's that thing about mixing all of the chemicals together to make the best thing, to make something better out of it. So I think that this energy that's been influencing you in his recent past is basically showing you how this is what's best for you. This is how you're going to get the better things in your life. But again, it does not have to be a man, it can be a woman, but it does seem to me like it's somebody who's been kind of like maybe a mentor or an influence on you, a person you could talk to, a person you could really, you know, share ideas with. The Ace of Swords is ideas. It's a very mental card. It's a very cerebral card. It's about, you know, having the truth, right? Truth is being shown to you. Let's get this Tower. You know, this is obviously, it's going to be whatever it is going to be coming in here. I think it's going to kind of force your hand a little bit on the choice that you're going to make regarding these Eight of Cups. Okay, so we've got the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so it's something you're working on. It's like you are building towards this, so it is something I think that you want, because it is, to me, actually, you know what, 3 just came out and they came out twice, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take them. To me, 4 of Pentacles and the Eight of Cups. Okay. The Eight of Pentacles kind of almost feels like you have been chopping away at the base of the Tower. So you know this is coming. This is not going to be a surprise. The Tower is traditionally a surprise, right? It's traditionally kind of like, oh, this is, you know, oh no, this is a moment that something's happened and now, oh, here we go. But I think you knew this was coming. This Eight of Pentacles is very much vibing to me like you've been working at knocking this Tower down, and you are going into it knowing there is a new offer, right? I think that there's an offer. So maybe something is coming in that's going to really help catalyze this Tower, perhaps an offer that sets it off and makes it possible to move forward with this idea that you didn't have before comes in. This Knight of Cups is an offer, right? It's normally an emotional offering. It could be a love offering. But it also could just be like a job offering or something. It could be an idea. It could be somebody coming up to you and being like, hey, I've got a bunch of money and I want to help you out with this idea. So it could be something that just kind of catalyzes you being able to move forward. And I think this 4 of Pentacles here is making me feel like it's making you able to do this thing without having to sacrifice your stability in order to do it. Even though the Tower is here. The Tower is not breaking your foundation. It is toppling the edifice atop your foundation, right? So that you can build one that more better represents who you are. And I think that this Tower, you have been doing that. You've been working towards doing that. You know that that's coming, and you're getting something here. This Tower is just something that's coming in that's making it feel like you can finally make that choice. You can make that choice and you don't have to feel unsafe about it. Okay, so I want to take a look at this side here on the Celtic cross, which the way I read these is that's going to be your kind of more like the spiritual energy coming in. So more like your soul self, you know? So give me you here. Give me your soul energy. It's less up in your head, less your thoughts, and more just like your feelings and your intuitions, right? So let's see. And how Spirit is going to really influence that. Give me your card here. Spirit. Aries for July. Whoop. Okay. Okay. Mm-hmm. So it's looking like you are feeling a little bit of healthy competition. I mean, the 5 of Wands is healthy competition, right? So the 6 of Pentacles is money coming in. It's generosity. So again, with this offer that you were receiving, I think at the end of that side of the reading with that Knight of Cups, I think the 6 of Pentacles is kind of you being like, I'm ready to receive that aid. You've been putting yourself in this position of being able to receive. You've kind of fought for the ability to feel okay with that, and I think that's your energy right now. And you also, again, with this 9 of Swords, you feel there's maybe an element of like, I don't deserve this that you're having to get over. An element of like, do I really is this, but I think you've gotten there. I think the Six of Pentacles is saying, well, yes, you do deserve whatever this thing is that's going to better your circumstance. The King of Wands is the energy surrounding you. And again, with the King of Cups and the King of Wands, I really think you've got some kind of masculine energy just really in your corner here. You have got, I don't know if it's a coach, maybe you're maybe you're a boxer, and you're going to be, you know, making a choice about going up into a different weight class or something, and you've just got a coach that's just been really, really helpful. Or I don't know, you know, that's very specific, but okay. Hopes and fears here, Three of Swords. So I think you're very nervous about this thing changing something in your life that you think is very important. Okay. Emotionally, I think you're very nervous about this hurting you, or perhaps hurting somebody else, this decision. Even though I think you know that it's better for you in the long run to make this decision. There's some kind of fallout that you're very concerned about here. But I think that in the end, it's going to be, again, for the best. It looks like this Queen of Cups is great final energy here. So, all right, Six of Pentacles and the Five of Wands. Again, I think, again, like I'm saying, it seems to me like you're just fighting a battle in your own mind a little bit about your worthiness. Page of Wands. Inspiration. So yeah, I think you've been you've been working to get to the point where you can be inspired and get answers to your questions. I think you've been looking for answers to questions, and I think that you have been receiving recently some inspiration that has been making you feel like you've got a way of getting that generous offer. You've got a way of getting that Six of Pentacles put in your coffers. That, you know, whether that's emotionally or financially. I think the Page of Wands is oftentimes a messenger. And I think the Page of Wands kind of represents like ideas sometimes from spirit. It could be also ideas from people. The Hermit. I think you've maybe spent a lot of time, again, in your head. The Hermit is time alone. The Hermit is spending a lot of time by yourself. So this is something that you've been doing a lot of thinking on your own about. You've been really trying to decide if this is what's best for you. All right, so the King of Wands is, again, I think this King of Cups energy is vibing similar to me. I think this is the same person. I think that there is it feels like a person, like a masculine energy in your life that's just really guiding you. See if there's any spirit. You got anything for the King of Wands? You want to elaborate on that a little bit for us, please? Who's my... Oh, you're sticking up. Let's see. Five of Pentacles. But maybe it's this King of Wands. I think this, again, this person is just really showing you how to overcome this concern that you have for this not working out. I think he's very much just been like in your corner and letting you feel like you don't have to be afraid of this thing not working out because your idea is strong. Yeah, your Three of Swords, your fears, your hopes and fears. I think your hopes and fears are being assuaged by this King of Wands. I think your fears are being assuaged by this King of Wands. I think he's seeing this concern that you have that it's going to be, maybe it's not going to work out. Maybe it's going to be something that's financially distressing for you, and it's not going to be the better situation. And I think that this King of Wands is really helping you see how that's maybe not true. The Three of Swords, let's elaborate on that. A little bit more on the Three of Swords. Whoa. Okay, let's see. The Five of Swords and the Ace of Wands. All right, yeah, I mean, hopes and fears. So I feel like the Five of Swords is about feeling like maybe you're having to be a little bit sneaky about the way that you're doing this, or that you're having to go about winning this by means that you weren't planning on. You had to be a little bit more cunning, maybe hurting somebody else in order to get what you want that you know is going to be the best for you. The Ace of Wands is about like a passionate new beginning in your life, and I think maybe you are concerned that this decision that you're going to make for yourself is going to be, it's going to hurt somebody else's feelings. It's going to hurt somebody else's life. I don't know if you're going to have to cut somebody out of your life in order to make this thing happen. I don't know if maybe some people just don't agree and you might lose somebody. Maybe it's a decision that you're making about your personal life. Maybe it's something about your personal identity that you're having to decide to own, and you're very concerned about somebody saying, look, I can't, I don't want to know you anymore. I can't have you in my life anymore because of this. But I think you know that like it's a sacrifice that you're willing to make if that is something that you're going to have to do, if you're going to have to cut something like that out of your life. This is it. I think that you're ready to do that. But I think you know that it's going to hurt and you're worried about it hurting. Queen of Swords, yeah. Yeah, Queen of Swords. It's you know. This Queen of Swords is very much a card of taking the decisive action intellectually, making the right choice that you know is going to be successful for you, even if it means you're going to have to maybe cut some things out. You're going to have to make some cuts here and there. And it's sort of a can't make an omelet without breaking some eggs kind of vibe I'm getting here. But I think the omelet's going to taste really good. So I think it's worth it. You know, it's worth cracking the eggs. So Queen of Cups, you know, excellent final energy here. Outcome to me feels like you are going to make this choice. If you make this choice, rather, you're going to feel very fulfilled about yourself. You're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to feel like you have done the thing that's going to help you best live your life, like live the life that you deserve. I think that's what I'm seeing here. So let's see if we get any more cards to elaborate a little bit on this final outcome for Aries for July. Looks like you've got, you know, you have a decision here that's like not an easy choice to make, for sure. But don't be too in your head about it. You know, when we think about things for too long, and we weigh the options and the pros and cons for too long, sometimes we can really... Seven of Swords. I mean, just as I was talking about this, and it flew out on top of this, so I actually think this was more elaborating on this. I think it was saying when you spend too much time in your head weighing the pros and cons about things, you get stuck in, like, am I doing the right thing? Am I doing the wrong thing? Am I having to be, you know, is this being sneaky? Am I being tricky? Am I having to deceive people? Am I having to, you know, I just think that you are a little bit too concerned about needing to, you know, maybe just be like keeping secrets, you know, like maybe you're not telling everybody everything, you've been deceptive, and you don't want to be that way anymore. I think that's the thing. Maybe you've been having to hold things back. You've been having to keep things secret. You've been having to play games that you don't want to play anymore. Right, Knight of Swords, yeah. Oh, where'd it go? We just like turned out, hid back in the deck. Maybe you didn't want that. Oh my goodness, it's not there anymore. How bizarre. Oh, there it is. Okay. Knight of Swords. So yeah, I think this is really just you saying like I'm gonna be my own Knight of Swords. I think I'm my own Knight of Swords. I'm rescuing myself here by putting myself first, by making this decisive action in my life, by accepting whatever this new energy is that's coming in, that's giving me an out, and listening to the people that have my best interest at heart, that are giving me sound advice on this thing. And it's time to move forward, and it's time to go ahead and do this. And I think if you do it, it seems like it's gonna turn out well. The World is the last card that came out in the deck. That's lovely. So the World and the Chariot at the bottom of the deck. So this feels like, you know, the World and the Chariot is very moving forward, letting it unfold the way it's supposed to. It's all going to come around full circle, and you're ready to get going. You're ready to get moving on it. So, okay, I think this all sounds like you're going to have a pretty eventful July coming up here if you choose to go for it, if you get out of your head and don't worry too much about your own, maybe worry too terribly much about other people's feelings. I hate to say that, but it's less, I think maybe you are thinking more that you're going to hurt more than you are, or like that this is going to influence other people more so than it actually will, you know. So, all right, I'm going to see if I can get a card from the Oracle deck. I've got the Witch's Oracle deck. Ooh. And we get the Green Man, which is growth. Awesome. I think that sounds perfect. Let's read and see what we got here. Growth, we have... the Green Man represents the masculine aspects of life. Interesting, because we really had a lot of that heavy here. Taking risks, expressing yourself in the world, moving forward with confidence. Prosperity and riches can now be claimed by those advancing with purpose. Relationships are also highlighted. For men, this card offers opportunities to be a guardian and a protector, a strengthening link for others. For women, You are being guided to seek your masculine side and go for it. Positive action will bring about positive change. This is very interesting that this is the card right after all this stuff and me talking about all the masculine energy. If there's some conflict in family, social, or intimate relationships, consider whether your relationship is healthy and fertile, or if it is time to reevaluate. Growth is still possible. Communicate. High note, fertile opportunities are offered. Low note, honor and respect yourself and others. So I really think you've got something that you've been thinking about for a long time, that's you've been in your head about, that you know is going to be best for you to move forward if you just kind of take this decisive action and allow yourself to accept the new opportunity that has come into your life, and you're going to see some hopefully very positive change. I hope that this resonated for you, Aries. If it did, please let me know down in the comments below. If you have any interpretations that you'd like me to know, if you think there's anything else that you want to add, please feel free. And I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you.